favor. ¡Sácame ahora mismo!
Is this just fantasy?
¡Vamos!
Caught in a landslide. No escape from reality.
Quiero formar un cuerpo especial con las personas más peligrosas del planeta.
Son tipos malos.
Lo peor de lo peor.
You're one of the few actors that have been able to work in the two biggest comic book franchises in movies. I want to know if there is any difference in the type of work between the two of them.
I mean, you know, for an actor, you know, it's always character-based for me as an actor. I don't look at the world or the, you know, I'm drawn to the characters. I think, you know, when I participated in the Marvel movie Thor, playing two characters in the same movie, Algrim and Curse, you know, it was very interesting. I think it prepared me for a role like this. You know, the degree to which the prosthetics were pushed in this movie was considerable. You know, I mean, in Marvel, maybe 1 or 2 hours in prosthetics in terms of the application, but with Killer Croc, it really took about maximum. Initially, it was 6 hours, and then we had to find ways to actually expedite it because I wouldn't get on camera and be able to perform. So they made a few more pieces to help that work, and we got it down to 5 hours when we did the full body makeup. You know, on some days I could get away with 3 hours when they were just shooting a certain angle, but the process itself, you know, there was no way of getting around that. And I think also one of the things working with the DC franchise of Suicide Squad is that David Ayers, the particular filmmaker behind this, he had a particular vision, and he really wanted to ground this in reality, all of the characters, and he really wanted to push it as far as he could. And you know, the prosthetics that we used were extraordinary and created by Chris Nielsen and his team. But David actually required me to go underwater and fight in these prosthetics, which I don't know if you know, but prosthetics and water don't agree. They're buoyant. They make you actually float. And so we had to put 40-pound weights to submerge me, and we'd take 60-second increments where I would hold my breath and they would shoot and I would swim and fight. And so I thought it was kind of groundbreaking in the process of how we shot, and that was different from what I'd done before. I do think for me as an actor, it's probably physically, mentally, and psychologically the toughest role I've had to play, because to stay in those kind of outfits, you really have to have a strong mind to not, you know, get too tired, or, you know, because it's a lonely space. You can't take it off. And I was very happy with what we created on screen. I think it's very unique and it hasn't been seen before.
I have to tell you, I'm such a fan of Lost. I wanted to ask you if you still see the influence of the series, of the show on nowadays television.
I mean, I had such a great experience being a part of that show. I think it was groundbreaking, and it's a cult series, and I think it really pushed the bar in terms of, and set the pace of what was to become the future of TV. I mean, you can just take a look at Game of Thrones. I mean, the production scale of TVs have just shot up. I mean, you know, some of the best work now is on TV, and it's very cinematic. In fact, you know, the feature film side, it really has to catch up with TV now. And I think that's a result of TV shows like Lost, and the production value and quality was so high. And, you know, and of course, you know, J.J. Abrams has gone on to become the new Steven Spielberg in film. So it really has made an indelible impression on the movie industry.
Joder, ¿pero qué coño os pasa?
Somos los malos, es lo que hacemos.
Nothing really matters to me.